Hello, and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. Today's podcast is number 1481. The topic is nutrition, and the title is How to Avoid Failing Your Diet Through the Holidays. So now that we've gotten past Halloween, typically as being a personal trainer and somebody who helps people with nutrition, the months of November and December are frustrating in ways as a trainer because people often just give up on trying to eat healthy. They're like, whatever, I'll get back to eating healthy in the new year. And I just kind of laugh because I'm like, what in the world, So Thanksgiving, you have like the day of Thanksgiving, and then maybe you go and visit family like that weekend. Then you have Christmas, maybe you have the day of Christmas, maybe a party here or there, family event here or there, maybe New Year's. Between Thanksgiving, let's say you have 2 days, Christmas 2 days, New Year's, we'll just say 2 days. So that's 6 days. So we can even say 8, okay? Let's say that there's going to be 8 days that it's abnormal schedule, weird on how to try to figure out how to eat healthy according to whatever structure your diet is. But let's say 8 days out of 60. Let's say there's 30, I don't even have a clue how many days are, I guess 61. How many days are in these months? I have to look that up. I don't know that stuff offhand. So November has 30 days, and December has 31. So in 61. So you're talking about 8 days out of 61, and you're just going to throw everything away? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's so surprising that people are willing to throw away 53 good days. You still would have 53 good days, and you're just going to throw them away. That doesn't make sense. Makes no sense. No sense. So it's still good to try to track your food or do your diet over the holidays, because there's still a lot of really good days that you can make progress. But I do understand why people often don't eat well during the holidays, and overwhelmingly it's because they're paying attention to the wrong things. Most people think that what you eat is what constitutes a diet. Whether you had, wheat bread versus white bread, whether you had, sweet potato or a white potato, they think food choices is what makes or breaks a diet. So when you go to a party or a family event or social event, and you don't have your normal foods available to you, you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to ruin the diet. Everything's gone. And you get frustrated with yourself. Maybe you get anxiety or a little bit anxious because you can't control it. And you think, I'm just a failure. We get all these negative thoughts because we can't eat the foods we're used to eating. But what you eat matters so little compared to what actually matters and compared to the progress that you can make. So we've talked about this. I mentioned this podcast a lot. It's podcast 1232. It's a nutrition podcast titled Start Here. I mention it a lot because it's the one that I think is just a good outline for what people should focus on. And this is what I do with all my clients. It's what I've been doing for 20 years as a personal trainer. It's what I've used to help people earn, pro cards in aesthetic sports, elite totals in powerlifting, everything under the sun and every other thing. So pro athletes and everything. It's complicated in maybe how you address the individual categories per person. That could be trouble. If you have a crazy schedule, if you have a food disorder or food disease, that could be an issue. But what matters most and the order of what we should pay attention to is ridiculously easy. So easy. It's just an outline of what to do. So calories are the things that matter the most. If you have a diet structure right now that doesn't allow you to track calories, so you have some other structure and you're not even counting calories, that diet probably is going to be trash in regards to long-term progress, and it's probably not sustainable for the rest of your life, and it will likely be the one that causes you a ton of stress through the holidays that makes you feel like you might as well just throw your hands up in the air and quit. So if you do have a diet that has calories involved, and if you don't know how to set that up, just listen to podcast 1232. It's available on our website. Just go to our website, www.brutalirongym.com. You can go to the podcast there. But that will tell you how to set up calories for yourself, okay? But if you have calories for yourself, boom, you're done. That's all. Like, that's the big thing. That's all you really got to worry about on holidays. You know, you go out to Thanksgiving, and you can try to track your calories a little bit, kind of graze throughout the day. You know, that's kind of one approach. So the first component of not failing your diet over the holidays is to recognize that what you eat doesn't really matter. It doesn't. You know, if you want to have sweet potatoes and cream corn and turkey and stuffing and whatever the hell else people have, like, go for it, okay? What really matters is calories. Then if you're going to pay attention to anything past that, it's protein, like how much protein is in your day, then distribution of your calories and protein. Are you having those kind of evenly throughout the day, or are you skipping all your food during the day because you're busy and you're overeating at night? And then that's going to cause you to have a lot more body fat than you should have for the calories that you're consuming. So that's kind of the things that matter the most, are calories, protein, and then distribution. So you can learn more about that and how to set that up for yourself in podcast 1232. The next thing to recognize is that if you mess up a day, even a whole damn day, it's not that big of a deal. Just get back on track. Just keep it at one day. One day doesn't make or break your process. Even if your dietary goal is as short as 1 month, say 30 days, you're trying to do some kind of crazy diet and you want it to be successful and you're going to do it for 30 days. If you miss up a whole day, that is only 1/30th of the process. You messed up 3%. That's it. So it's like you can still get a 97 on your test. So if somebody said, I'm going to give you a test, but you're automatically losing 3%. You lost 3%, and you're like, well, damn, should you just not take the test at all? Hell no, I'd still try to take tests, still see what I can get. Now, nutrition, that's a weird analogy, I know. But to recognize that 3% of your goal is all you've missed if you mess up an entire day in a month, that it's so little, so unbelievably little, that why would you throw away the rest of the month? Right? So if I was told you I was going to give you your paycheck, but I'm going to take 3% out of it no matter what, or if you want, I can just skip giving you your whole paycheck. So you're either going to get 97% of your paycheck or you're going to get none of your paycheck. You take 97%. So why would we throw away the whole diet just because we missed one day? Now, likely your goal of nutrition probably is more than 1 month, maybe 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, or maybe it's just a healthy way of eating that you want as a regular lifestyle. One day matters even less to you. It's really, really not that significant. It's not. There's two kind of general approaches you can use to the holidays. There's probably an infinite number, but just two to give us kind of some context here. Is one, you can recognize that a single day really doesn't matter. Then you can kind of eat within reason, whatever that is to you, and go about the flow of the day and just enjoy the day. Enjoy the family, enjoy being around people, enjoy maybe some of the foods. You have a piece of cake, not the whole cake. You have a piece of pie, not the whole pie. So just kind of eat a little bit of what you want, but just recognize that a day doesn't matter and don't let it stress you out. For some people, they're better off that way. If they're like, you know what? If I try to micromanage my day and count calories and do all these other odds and ends, I'm going to go nuts. I'm not going to enjoy anything. I'm just going to be a big ball of anxiety. I'm going to be super stressed the whole day. So I recognize that one day doesn't really matter. I'm just going to enjoy myself, and then I'm getting back on track the next day. Boom. Perfect. Totally fine. If you're in the category that you just freaked out that I told you not to pay attention to anything for a day, you're like, oh my good Lord, no way. Well, then control what you can. You can eat a little bit of things if you want some things, but keeping your portion sizes small. Kind of snack evenly throughout the day. That helps spread out your distribution. At each time you eat, try to think like, okay, if I'm going to have a meal right now, what's getting me protein? Do I have any protein in this meal? Do I have any meat? Do I have any eggs? Do I have any dairy? Whatever the hell. Maybe you're having a tofu turkey. Just have some kind of protein in each meal, and that'll help you feel under control. You're keeping your portion sizes small, which is help control your calories. You're eating evenly throughout the day, which is going to help your distribution. And just think of, okay, what's my protein in this meal? And that's going to help make sure you have some protein. You can be more aware of trying to control what's within your control, but again, recognize that what I eat really doesn't matter. If I'm controlling my calories, I have some protein throughout the day, I'm distributing it kind of evenly throughout the day, then I'm doing totally fine. You can do some extra stuff. Like what I like doing is to work out. When I was single, I'm married now, very blessed and thankful for that. But back when I was single, I used to, at family events, I would get up at like 5:30 in the morning and go to a local gym or wherever we were meeting as a family. And I would go work out, and then I'd come home and join everybody for breakfast and whatnot. But I always felt really good that way because for me, I already took care of myself that day. I put my body in a position where if I overate anything, it's just going to go to muscle development and muscle growth. Great. I'm okay with that. So I would work out in the morning. Now that I'm married, we actually do that, but we don't do it at 5:30 in the morning. So we'll get up and we'll go to the gym, and we work out before we meet the family for like lunch for holidays. I might also maybe work out the day before. I do this on big trips. Before I go on a big trip where I'm going to miss the gym for a couple of days, or, maybe like everything's just going to be a little bit wonky schedule-wise for a couple of days, I'll do like a big hardcore workout, like a big leg day, bunch of deadlifts, bunch of squats. So that way my body has an increased demand for nutrition and muscle development over the next 2 or 3 days. So then if I overeat or I kind of, my eating's a little off here or there, I know that if there is any excess, it's going to go towards that muscular development, that muscular growth. So you can use physical activity in that way, work out the day before, work out the morning of, maybe even go for a walk. Maybe you can talk a couple family members into going for a walk midday, help digest the first meal of the day so that you can make room for the second. That's one thing to do. I know like some people, they'll go in the backyard and play football. That's great. Nice and great way to be active. Just be active if you can, and that helps a lot as well. So the biggest things of like not messing stuff up over the holidays is knowing what matters. Specific foods really don't matter much. If you're controlling your calories, you're doing great. Doesn't even matter what the hell the foods come from. If your calories are within your normal range, you're going to be okay. You're not missing a much, okay, on that day. Then the next thing to recognize is that one day doesn't really matter. Even 2 days don't matter. Even, 8 days in 2 months, 8 days out of 61 days doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It doesn't hurt you. What hurts is when you just give up all the days in between. And overwhelmingly, that's because people feel flustered and confused and they don't know what to do. So listen to podcast 1232, Nutrition Podcast titled Start Here. Pay attention to what that podcast tells you to pay attention to. And then just kind of go with the flow on that day, on a holiday. Eat within reason. A couple bites of things if you want it. But try to spread the food out throughout the day. See if you can get some protein in. But again, just enjoy the day, enjoy your family, and just get back on track the next day. Okay, well, I wanted to publish this podcast November 1st because it is the start of the month when people just give up. But also, it's early enough that if you have any questions, I encourage you to reach out. Our email is brutalironjim@gmail.com. Please send any questions you have, and I would be happy to answer them ahead of the holidays. If you have any questions about eating around the holidays or anything in general, I'm always here. I'm always happy to help. That's the whole point of the podcast, is that it's just a free resource for you to ask any question you want and get it answered for free. It's pretty awesome. So please reach out. Let me know if there's anything you want clarity on. I'm happy to help. Cool. Okay. Well, if you like today's podcast or the podcast in general, please share the podcast. The more people we share the podcast with, the more people it can help. That's the whole goal. Thank you to the people who financially support the podcast through donations. The podcast is well over $1,000 a year for hosting costs. I give an hour to it every day, and we want to keep it for free. So thank you to those who give donations. You can do so at our website. There's an option for one-time donation, monthly donation, yearly donation, even just $5 a month. It does go a long way, and it does help, so thank you very much. Also, if you like the information we share in our podcast, you can find more from us on our social media channels on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube under the name Brutal Iron Gym. If you have any questions, feedback, suggestions, anything that you want to know, let us know at our email, brutalironjim@gmail.com. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.